Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Seattle, Washington. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. We are coming down to the end of the season here as the Falcons facing the Alaska Anchorage Seawolves tonight, and they will close out the season on Saturday. Fairbanks will be here, but these two teams coming into this one, Falcons have wrapped up a spot in the GNAC tournament. They are 10-6 in conference play, and currently in third. They are 15-10 overall. The Seawolves 12-13 overall, 6-10 in GNAC play, and currently tied for 8th. They are going to have a deduction applied to their conference winning percentage, though, and that due to using an ineligible player earlier on in the year. But they would be potentially trying to get into the GNAC tournament. The GNAC tournament, 6 teams, the normal field. Last year they took all 10, but this year, as usual, just 6. And the Falcons in third right now. They have clinched a spot. They are trying to lock down that 3rd seed. They do not have a chance of getting into the top 2, but they can be caught. Falcons and Seawolves coming up here. The Seawolves coached by Rusty Osborne. He's in his 19th year at the helm of the Seawolves program. And they're going to go with a lineup featuring Sawyer Storms, A.J. Garrity, Tyson Gilbert, Dathan Satchel, and Lachlan Viney, the starting lineup for the Seawolves. And for the Falcons, Grant Leap is in his 7th year as the head coach. He's going to go with a lineup featuring Zach Paulson, Sion Blackman, Maui Z, Shaw Anderson, and Kelton Samore. Samore is in the circle, and so is Storms, and the Falcons win the tip. And it'll be Maui Z out of the backcourt. He scored the last bucket at Montana State Billings on Saturday. Here's Shaw Anderson, double-teamed, kicks it out. And Z is fouled. No, they're going to say he walked with it. And so it's a turnover. And you don't want to give the Seawolves turnovers here. The Seawolves have forced their opponents into an average of 20 turnovers per game. And they just commit 11.4 turnovers per game. That's a huge difference at this stage of the season, having played 25 games. And here is a 3 on the way from the top of the key, off the mark by Dathan Satchel, but we get a whistle on the rebound and a call on Shaw Anderson here. And so the Seawolves will get it underneath the basket. Satchel will inbound from there, and he'll get it into Storms. Sawyer Storms, and he commits a turnover there. Maui Z gets in front of Viney, and the Falcons take it back the other way. Samore, turnaround, puts it in. Kelton Samore averaging his season field goal percentage is 62.1, good for 2nd in the GNAC. And he hits a shot there. Here is Sawyer Storms taking a 3, and that one's off the mark. Gilbert had it knocked away by Blackman, and they're going to say that it was last touched by Sion Blackman. And so Seawolves will have it on the baseline. Satchel will inbound again. And Garrity steps into a 3 from the corner and can't get it to go down. Rebound SPU. Maui Z across midcourt. Back to the note on Maui Z hitting the game-winning bucket at Billings on Saturday. Offensive rebound there for Paulson. He couldn't get it to go, but it's tipped out, and Anderson takes a 3. Couldn't get that one to go either. Sawyer Storms the rebound for the Seawolves. Falcons with a 2-0 lead here in the early going. Satchel with it on the left wing. We'll get it to the top for Viney. Lachlan Viney out of Melbourne, Australia, which is a long way from Anchorage, Alaska. Nice dish in the lane there to Storms, but some more comes to get him. Back out to Viney, and Viney knocks down a 3 from the top of the key. Anchorage goes up by a point, 3-2. We've played a little over 2 minutes here. And Maui Z with the basketball for the Falcons. Now he's just 5'10", 170. He got into the paint on Saturday at Billings for the final bucket, giving the Falcons a 2-point win, 72-70. And the Falcons really have been on a bit of a slide, losing 5 out of the last 7. They had lost 5 out of 6 prior to the win at Billings. Blackman tried to come up with a steal there, couldn't do it. Gilbert misses on a 3. And the Falcons with the rebound the other way. Neither team getting into much of a flow offensively yet, but we're still early in this one. And these are two good offensive teams. Blackman has it knocked away. Gilbert ends up with it, and Blackman's going to be called for a foul, as he and Gilbert exchanging words as they're separated. And the foul called on Sion Blackman.
Foul number 2, the Falcons, Sion Blackman. His first foul, team foul number 2.
Second foul on the Falcons. And it'll be Garrity to inbound to Viney. These two teams faced off back in early December, and the Falcons won at Anchorage 90-87. Both of these teams, as I mentioned, really good offensive teams. It was a 3 by Gilbert, and they're going to call a foul away from the ball.
Foul number 2, Sion Blackman.
Blackman called for another foul. He's going to have to come out of the game. That's his second foul. Kassan Rouse is going to check in.
For Blackman, number 3.
And so no shot there. Was trying to decipher what all I'm behind some glass up here. I was trying to decipher what all the official was saying there, and Satchel misses, but now gets his own rebound and puts it back up and in. And the Seawolves take the lead. No, they did give the bucket to the Seawolves and called Blackman. And let's see here, they did count the bucket and also gave possession to the Seawolves, and they lead it now 8-2. Here is Paulson from the corner, and that one is off the mark. Rebound to Satchel. And the Seawolves the other way. Garrity with it. They swing it over. Gilbert storms, and now Viney going to take a 3, and that one is off the mark. Long rebound comes out to Paulson. Paulson will get it to Z. Z drives and is going to get a blocking foul called on Viney, as we're going to get to a media timeout here. 15:58 to go. First half, and the Seawolves leading the Falcons 8-2 after the first 4 minutes of play. We'll be right back in just a moment to Royal Braun Pavilion. We'll be right back in just a moment. Eight to 2, the Seawolves lead the Falcons. 15:58 remaining in the first half. Still trying to sort out exactly what happened with the. There was a 3 made by Tyson Gilbert, and then the Seawolves had possession as the foul was called on Sion Blackman. He picked up his second foul. Doesn't appear that it went as a technical, but just the timing of it, I believe. They counted the bucket and called the foul, gave possession to the Seawolves, and now is he going to get bumped into by a couple of players and loses his footing. He's going to be called for traveling, and the Seawolves will take possession back. They lead 8-2. Coming into the game, Falcons averaging over 80 points a game. They're averaging 80.6. They are allowing 75.1 points per game. And the Seawolves averaging, as this is Sawyer Storms adjusting in midair and getting it around Kelton Samore's outstretched arm. And the Seawolves lead at 10-2. They are averaging 77.4 points per game. Here's Samore with the dunk. And that'll make it a 10-4 ball game. As Samore throws it down. Viney across midcourt. And they're going to call a foul on Maui Z. And the game a little contentious so far here in the first few minutes.
First foul, 14.
Trace Evans and Ben Baker McCann coming in for SPU. 15:01 to go, first half, 10-4. Alaska Anchorage. Mentioning that they average 77.4 points per game, they allow 70.4. As three goes up and is off the mark. Trace Evans the rebound. Here come the Falcons. And nice pass, Paulson to Evans, as Evans was running the floor, and he gets to the bucket and lays it up and in. Paulson the assist, 10-6. Viney will get it to Garrity. And now Storms comes to get it. Pulls up from the free throw line, and that one rims out. Baker McCann the rebound for SPU. This is Evans down in the post. Kicks it out. Rouse for a three. And that one is all net. And Rouse puts it in. It is a 7-0 run for the Falcons. They were down 10-2. Now have cut it to a point, 10-9. And A.J. Garrity is going to take a deep three. And that one is all net. So Garrity responds. And the Seawolves take a 4-point lead again, 13-9. Rouse coming out of backcourt, gets it to Baker McCann, goes behind the back. Anderson with it now. Here's Trace Evans in the post, backing down on Sawyer Storms. And he's going to pick up an offensive foul. Storms takes the charge. And so Evans gets called for the charge. He'll come out. Evan Hoosier will come in for Alaska Anchorage. And he will face off against Trace Evans down low now. Hoosier, 6'9", 240. Evans is 6'9", 210. And that 210 seems a little light. But A.J. Garrity gets the bucket and lays it up and in. There's no way Trace Evans is 210 pounds at 6'9". That's a little generous. As far as listing him a little under what I'm sure he actually is. Evan Hoosier commits the foul. And the Falcons will take it out of bounds. They trail by 6, 15-9. They were within a point at 10-9. But these teams like to get up and down the floor and score a lot of points. We're in for a long game here. Baker McCann reverses it up and gets it to go. Nice move there by Ben Baker McCann. And he's got his first 2 points of the ball game. 15-11, Anchorage leading the Falcons. Here's Garrity driving to the bucket, lays it up and in. Nobody stopped him. And A.J. Garrity with 7 points in the ball game. Here's Baker McCann. He's going to draw a foul, cutting through a couple of defenders.
Foul number 5 of Alaska Anchorage, A.J. Garrity, first foul.
And that is Garrity's first foul.
SBU will inbound front court.
12:34 to go
Into the game
here
for
in
Alaska
the opening half.
Anchorage,
And Jerron Williams will check in for Anchorage. Seawolves are missing their leading scorer, DeJon Weish, as Baker McCann gets through and gets that one to roll in as well. A couple of contested shots by Baker McCann, and Paulson with another assist. It's 17-13. Garrity takes a three. He's feeling it. He's got 10 points in the ball game. And the Seawolves now a 7-point lead, 20-13. Falcons in the front court. Baker McCann going to take a three. And that one is all net. Baker McCann with 7. And these teams going back and forth here. 20-16 now. Seawolves lead it. Viney in the corner for Gilbert. Paulson tried to get there, couldn't get there. And the shot is off the mark, though. Evans pulls down the rebound, gets it to Rouse. Here come the Falcons. Down 4. Anderson in the post. Evans kicks it out to Rouse, and that one's off the back iron, no good. DeJon Weish has just played in 14 games this year for the Seawolves, but in those 14 games, he is averaging almost 16 points a game. This is a nice move there in the paint by Viney to get the shot up and in. And it's a 6-point margin now, 22-16. Anchorage with the lead. Here is Shaw Anderson. Gets it to Baker McCann. He'll find Paulson out beyond the arc. In the post to Anderson. Anderson, turnaround jumper, and that one is off the mark. Evans, the rebound. Finds Baker McCann. Baker McCann again, and this time the shot is off the mark. Gilbert the other way for the Seawolves. And a nice pass there, and the lay-in is off the mark by Viney. Good pass there from Hoosier to find him. But Viney unable to get the lay-in to go down. Here's Rouse. Paulson, cross-court, Baker McCann. He's going to step inside the arc. Outside to Anderson for a three from the top of the key. And Shaw Anderson is on the board. Shaw Anderson averaging 19.9 points per game and gets on the board here with his first three, as they've been able to limit him so far through the first 10 minutes of the ball game. Here's Tyson Gilbert taking a three over Zach Paulson. That one misses. Gilbert did knock down 1 3 earlier, but he's missed on a couple of other ones here. That one's stolen away by Garrett. He gets ahead for Gilbert. And the Seawolves with possession with under 9.5 to go in the first half. They lead by 3, 22-19. Williams driving to the right wing. Hoosier finds Garrity going to the bucket, and Garrity's got 12 points in the ballgame. A.J. Garrity, season average is just 8 points a game, and he is already 50% over that at 12 points now. This is Trace Evans. Couldn't get the shot to go, gets his own rebound, has it knocked away, and picks up the foul. As we will get to a media timeout here. 8:51 to go. As Evan Hoosier commits the foul on Trace Evans. That is his second foul. 24-19, Anchorage leading Seattle Pacific. And we'll be back in just a moment on the SBU webcast. 8:51 to go first half, 24-19. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SB webcast. The Falcons trail it by 5, 24-19, and they took the lead initially, and their last lead was 2-0. Anchorage has led ever since, as Falcons have already turned it over 5 times in the game. Mentioned that Anchorage forces an average of 20 per game from their opponents. But Falcons with the rebounding advantage, 12-7. And Trace Evans heading to the free throw line. Both teams shooting over 47% for the game from the floor. Anchorage at 47.6%, so call that 48. Falcons at 47.1%. Evans misses on the first free throw, gets the second one to go. And now he will check out. Kelton Samore back in. Clayton Whitman on the floor for the Falcons as well. As Zach Paulson also out there. Maui Z back in, and Kassan Rouse rounding out the 5 on the floor. Lachlan Viney with it. Gets it to Sawyer Storms. And here's Williams. Jerron Williams driving, and Whitman takes it away. Nice spin move there to get it out of backcourt. And he will get the Falcons into an offensive possession. Here's Kelton Samore driving on Bradley, and that one is off the mark. Jaden Bradley on defense there for the Seawolves, as he just checked in for the first time after the timeout. Viney to Storms, and now Caleb Larson with it, as he is in for the first time as well. Here's Bradley taking a jumper from about 15 feet out on the baseline, and is over the rim on that one. Paulson drives, puts it up over Jerron Williams, and no good, as Bradley pulls down the rebound, gets it to Viney. Seawolves by 4, as I believe they no, it was Trace Evans made split a pair of free throws. Sawyer Storms with the bucket there, and it's a 6-point margin now. Here's Whitman for Samore, and Samore catches and puts it in. Clayton Whitman with the assist. And here come the Seawolves back the other way, down, or up by 4 rather. Lachlan Viney to Caleb Larson. Larson out of Wilsonville, Oregon, in the Portland area. Here's Viney on a 3 from the left wing, and that one is good. And the Seawolves up by 7, 29-22. Maui Z across midcourt. Here's Paulson from the left corner on a 3, and he couldn't get it to go. Viney with the rebound. Anchorage with a 7-point lead and the basketball, with just over 6:30 to play here in the first half. 29-22. Bradley for Viney. He's going to drive on Z and kick it out to Bradley in the corner. Bradley driving on Whitman, and Whitman blocks the shot. Whitman held his own there, and with the long arms able to block the shot. Falcons the other way, some more. Finds Whitman at the bucket. Puts it up, puts it in. Whitman able to gain control there and put it in. And Clayton Whitman on the board with 2 points. Larson loops it out for Viney. Viney drives, gets around Whitman, and scores. Lachlan Viney now 10 points in the ball game. And the Seawolves, again, a 7-point lead, 31-24. Rouse down low in the post for Samore. Samore goes around Storms and then loses it. And that is going to be a turnover, as we'll get to another media timeout here with 5:31 to go in the first half. And the Seawolves with a 7-point lead over the Falcons, 31-24. We'll be right back on the SP webcast in just a moment. 5:31 to go first half. Seawolves leading the Falcons 31-24 as we return to action here inside Royal Brown Pavilion. And Falcons, with Shaw Anderson being held to just 3 points so far, they are led by 7 from Ben Baker McCann, and Kelton Samore has 6. And Anchorage already with 2 in double figures as Caleb Larson loses it but gets it back. They have A.J. Garrity with 12 points and Lachlan Viney with 10. That driving runner there is off the mark by Larson, but we get a whistle on the foul and the whistle on the rebound rather, and a foul called on Shaw Anderson. That'll be his second.
Foul. Out of bounds, Alaska Anchorage.
And the Falcons would love to get Shaw Anderson going. Limited to just the 3, as this is Jerron Williams putting it up over Anderson. Anderson did not want to pick up his third. And the Seawolves with a 9-point lead, 33-24. Here's Zach Paulson in transition, taking a 3 and missing.
Falcons possession.
And the Falcons will maintain possession here with 4:59 to go in the first half. Not the Falcons' best offensive performance here in the first half, but they're still within single digits. Anderson, a nice move there to get it up, and he tips his own rebound up and in.
Working the magic.
And that puts him at 5 points for the ball game, 33-26. Seawolves. Larson will stop and pop and take a 3 from the top of the key, and he drains it.
Larson, 3 points.
10-point lead for the Seawolves, 36-26. Larson on the board with 3. Z has it knocked away, and an easy lay-in for Jerron Williams. And as I have mentioned a couple of times, the Seawolves will force turnovers. They have a whole bunch of steals, almost double what their opponents have for the season. And there was one there, 38-26, Seawolves with the lead. Here's some more for Baker McCann. Maui Z in the corner for a 3, and that one drops in. He was looking for potentially a foul there, or I thought anyway, that he may have been hit on the arm, but gets the 3 to go. And the Falcons back within 9, 38-29. A 3 on the way from Garrity is no good. Z with the rebound. And here's Ben Baker McCann for the Falcons. Finding some more, and it's in and out of the hands of some more. He couldn't hang on to it. And we're going the other way. Sawyer Storms kicks it back out for Larson. He's going to take a 3. That one's off the mark, and it's going to go out of bounds. It'll be Falcons possession with 3:16 to go in the first half. One more media timeout here. 38-29. Seawolves lead the Falcons. We'll be right back in just a moment on the SP webcast. 3:16 to go first half, 38-29. Seawolves over the Falcons as we return to action here inside Royal Brown Pavilion. Greg Sexton with you on the SBU webcast. Seawolves shooting 50% from the floor and the Falcons shooting 46%. And the Falcons have turned it over 8 times, the Seawolves just twice. And that makes a big difference here. Seawolves just 3 steals compared to 2 for the Falcons, but 8 turnovers overall for SPU. They have possession now, though. Trace Evans in the post, kicks it out to Paulson. And now Baker McCann will swing it over to Rouse. Rouse from the free throw line, and that one no good. Baker McCann in for the rebound, puts it up and in. And he will get to the free throw line. Ben Baker McCann was
Ben Baker McCann will go to the line with one shot.
Early in the season, playing a lot of minutes off the bench and contributing quite a bit. As the season has worn on, we have seen less of him. But now, tonight, he's gotten some good minutes. Misses on the free throw, though, but has 9 points in the ballgame for the Falcons. Here's Tyson Gilbert stepping back and taking a three over Shaw Anderson. Gilbert now 1 of 5 from beyond the arc as he misses on that one. Zach Paulson will get it to Evans. Evans has it knocked away. Baker McCann ends up with it. That one off the back iron, no good. And the Seawolves with the rebound. Jerron Williams across midcourt, 2:15 to play in the first half. And Alaska Anchorage leading by 7. Here's Garrity. And they get it inside. Williams drives and lays it up and in.
Jerron Williams.
And with 2 minutes to go in the first half, that gives the Seawolves a 9-point lead again, 40-31. Here's Kassan Rouse across midcourt. Gets double teamed, gets it to Evans, and now Baker McCann with it. Baker McCann going to be called for an offensive foul. And
Baker McCann, first foul,
that is his first.
Foul. Back in for your Falcons, number 11,
Clayton Whitman will come back in.
Trace Evans.
As it'll be Shaw Anderson, actually, that'll check out. Looked like Trace Evans was headed for the bench, and Anderson comes out instead. And Anderson has 2 fouls. They do not want him to pick up his third. Minute and a half to go, first half, 40-31. Seawolves are in the bonus. Falcons have committed 7 team fouls. Here's Jerron Williams. And we get a whistle. And they're going to get Ben Baker McCann on a touch foul there. He doesn't like the call. Grant Leap out on the court. And that's one that you don't see called very often. Just kind of a ticky-tack foul. But they do call it on Ben Baker McCann. And Jerron Williams will head to the free throw line with 1:20 to go in the half. And it's a 1-and-1 situation. He knocks down the first free throw. Jerron Williams on the season is a 72% free throw shooter. And he knocks down both here. And Seawolves with an 11-point lead. Lachlan Viney back in for Williams now. And the Falcons with possession. Rouse looking for somewhere to go with it, and Storms knocks it out of bounds. Falcons will keep it with 1:10 to go. They trail by 11 here, 42-31. And a lot of this first half, Falcons have just kind of looked disjointed. The Anchorage defense, as I've mentioned, they force a lot of turnovers. Trace Evans almost banked that one in, but it rims out. And it's another rebound to UAA as they will call a timeout as Viney crosses midcourt with 49.1 left in the first half. And Rusty Osborne wanting to drop a play here to get another bucket at least before halftime, as he knows the Falcons can put together a lot of points in a hurry when they have it rolling, but trying to build as big of a lead as possible here going into the locker room, as the Seawolves with an 11-point lead currently. And we take a look at the updated stats here, and the turnovers in particular. The Falcons have turned it over 9 times now, and the Seawolves just twice. Seawolves still shooting 50% from the floor, and the Falcons now at 43%. As Garrity will inbound to Viney. And the Seawolves going to run some clock here. Not trying for a 2-for-1. As Garrity is going to step back and put it up over Whitman, and that one is no good. Baker McCann will just let the ball go out of bounds. And so the Falcons will get it with 27.6 left. Shot clock is off. And Grant Leap takes a timeout. And he'll talk things over with his squad as Falcons trying to get it under double digits, I should say, back to single digits as they trail by 11 here late in the first half. 27.6 on the clock. And Jerron Williams going to sub in for Alaska Anchorage. As Falcons 43% from the game for the game, not a terrible shooting percentage. They average over 50. They average over 51% from the floor on the season, 51.4 to be exact. But it's really, they have turned it over a few times, and the Seawolves converting those into points. As mentioned, the turnover margin a few times. Take a look at points off turnovers here after. Maybe we'll get to that at halftime here. Maui Z going to dribble out some clock. 7 seconds, and now he gets a screen from Anderson. 3 seconds. Z going to take a long three. That one's off the mark. Anderson puts it back and in. They're going to. Anchorage is signaling that it doesn't count. We'll see, as that one came right at the buzzer. Falcons signaling that it was in time. Anchorage signaling that it was not. So the officials will review it. Teams are going to go to the locker room, and so it's just a matter of whether the score at the break is going to be 42-31 or 42-33. As
halftime, everybody.
We are at halftime, and the officials are going to review the last play, and we will have a verdict for you coming up here on the review. But the Falcons are down by either 9 or 11, either way. So not the greatest first half of action for the Falcons this year, but plenty of time to get it going the other way in the second half. As the Falcons 9-1 at home, just the one loss here at home, and trying to run their home record to 11-1 if they can pick up wins here against Anchorage and then against Fairbanks on Saturday. But Anchorage is giving the Falcons all they can handle, 42-33, as we'll say that, and they may reverse the call, but we will step aside on the SP webcast. We'll be back with a recap of the first half in a couple of minutes, and then we'll a little later on in halftime we will take a look around the GNAC and see what else is going on tonight. Back in a moment on the SP webcast. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you at halftime as the basket by Shaw Anderson at the buzzer was upheld, and so it is a single-digit margin, 42-33. The Seawolves with the lead at halftime. Kind of a strange first half as both teams shot fairly well. The Seawolves shot 49%. The Falcons shoot 44% from the floor. And the Falcons making 31% of their three-pointers. Seawolves 35% out beyond the arc. Not a lot of free throws in the game. 2 of 2 for the Seawolves, 1 of 3 for the Falcons. Falcons have the 9 rebound edge in the rebounding department, 22-13. They're out rebounding the Seawolves, but they've turned it over 9 times. The Seawolves just 2 turnovers. And points off turnovers, Seawolves 15, Falcons 2 in that department. And so that has played a big role in this one so far, as individually Shaw Anderson, he's at 7 points for the Falcons, averages just under 20 per game, 19.9, so we'll call it 20, and trying to get that season average to 20 or more these last couple of games. But the Falcons at this point just hoping to go on a run in the second half. As for the Seawolves, 12 points from A.J. Garrity, 5 of 8 shooting, 10 points from Lachlan Viney. He is 4 of 6 from the floor. They get 3 rebounds apiece from Storms and Viney, and a couple of steals from Garrity as well. For the Falcons, as I mentioned, Shaw Anderson 7 points, Kelton Samore with 6, and Ben Baker McCann actually leads the way in the scoring department for them with 9, and Trace Evans with 6 rebounds to lead the way in that department for the Falcons. As the big difference in this one so far, points off turnovers, UAA 15, SBU 2. And that accounts for the 9-point margin at halftime here. 42-33, Anchorage with the lead. We will step aside again on the SPU webcast for another couple minutes and be back with you to take a look around the GNAC and see what else is going on in other conference games. We will be right back at halftime, 42-33, Anchorage over SPU. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion at halftime, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. The Falcons trail the Seawolves 42-33. And this is the first of a doubleheader tonight. Both of these schools with their women's basketball teams getting ready to tip off at 7:30. And we'll have that one coming up for you as well. But at halftime here, the Seawolves leading the Falcons 42-33. Here's how things shake out in the GNAC as the top 6 teams advance to the GNAC tournament. And the Falcons have clinched a spot in that 6-team field. They are in 3rd place right now in the conference at 10-6, just ahead of Northwest Nazarene at 9-7, who has also clinched a spot in the tournament. Western Oregon is in 5th at 8-8, and Central Washington in 6th at 7-9. Western Washington 7-10. They will play just one more time this year against Simon Fraser. Simon Fraser is just 1-16 in conference play. So likely the 6th seed coming down to Central Washington and Western Washington. Alaska Fairbanks could potentially get in. They are a game behind Central Washington, but they would have to have a lot go their way. St. Martin's has clinched a spot. Montana State Billings has clinched as well. They have clinched the top 2 spots in the tournament. And St. Martin's with a record of 14-2 in conference. Montana State Billings 13-3. Billings tonight is taking on Alaska Fairbanks. And Fairbanks will be here on Saturday for Senior Day. Falcons will have Zach Paulson and Kelton Samore honored pregame. Neither of them is listed as a senior, but they're going to graduate and they will be done with their careers here at SBU. But that game going on the same time as this one, Fairbanks at Billings. As I mentioned, Fairbanks will be here. Anchorage will be at Billings on Saturday. And a couple of other games tonight. Central Washington is at St. Martin's, and Northwest Nazarene is at Western Oregon. That is the current number 4 and 5 teams in the GNAC. So Northwest Nazarene trying to stay ahead of Western Oregon. If Western Oregon can win that one, both of those teams would be 9-8 in GNAC play. But coming down to the final weekend of the season here, and we'll kind of recap things for you on Saturday as well, as far as where things stand with the GNAC tournament. But right now, essentially, you could say 5 teams playing for the remaining 2 spots. As I mentioned in the pregame, Anchorage going to have a significant deduction applied to their conference winning percentage after the season is over for a violation of a GNAC bylaw earlier this year related to the use of an ineligible player for 3 games. And so they are more than likely out of it. I suppose that potentially they could still get in with a couple of wins and a bunch of losses from all the other teams that they're competing with. But even then, I believe that points deduction is or percentage deduction is going to knock them out of things. But it's interesting coming down to the wire here. Montana State Billings 13-3 in conference, and 2 of those losses to SBU, as the Falcons swept the Yellow Jackets. The one home loss for SBU this year, I was mentioning that they are 9-1 at home, and they let's see here. They lost to Western Washington back on February 2nd, 3 weeks ago, and that is their one home loss this year. We're going to step aside again on the SPU webcast and be back with you with second half action coming right up. 42-33 Anchorage over SPU at halftime. We'll be right back. Second half action coming your way on the SP webcast momentarily. The Falcons again trailing the Seawolves by 9 at halftime, 42-33. As could have been 11. Shaw Anderson just barely beat the buzzer with a putback at the end of the first half. And so the Falcons get within 9. Grant Leap talking things over with his team in the locker room, now out on the bench. And Falcons are going to have to clean up the turnovers and try to get Shaw Anderson going, or some of the other scores that they have. But Anderson in particular averaging 19.9 points per ball game. Zach Paulson has been pretty quiet as well, and Paulson averages double figures for the Falcons. Paulson is 0 of 5 from the floor, 0 of 3 beyond the arc. He's got 4 rebounds, but has been held scoreless here in the first half. So teams will retake the floor here for another 20 minutes. And Falcons trying to make a comeback here and get to 11-6 in conference play and go to 10-1 at home. But they have their work cut out for them, down 9 as we start the second half. Dathan Satchel back on the floor for Alaska Anchorage. He was in the starting lineup. Didn't see a lot of him in the first half. Satchel out of Tracy, California. And the original starting 5 back on the floor for the Seawolves. And for the Falcons as well, Sion Blackman back out there as he picked up a couple of fouls in succession early in the first half. We didn't see a lot of him.
Fouls on number 24, Shaw Anderson.
You get a call on Shaw Anderson, and he picks up his third right away here in the first 17 seconds of the second half. And not a call that the Falcons are a fan of in particular. But Anderson does pick up the foul. Here is an inbounds pass to Garrity. And now Lachlan Viney with it. Viney out of Melbourne, Australia. And here is let's see, they're going to call a travel here on Tyson Gilbert, as there was a little contact there. Gilbert grimacing as he gets back up, but not enough contact to where they were able to whistle a foul on that one. Gilbert called for the travel, as the Falcons will get it across midcourt. And Maui Z with it, with 15 on the shot clock. 9-point ball game. Here's Paulson. Anderson in the corner for a 3, and that one goes down. And Shaw Anderson up to 10 points in the game. And had the last 2 of the first half, and comes out with a 3 here to start the second half. 42-36. Seawolves by 6. Storms loops it in the post to Gilbert. He's going to throw it outside, though, to Viney. And now here's Sawyer Storms again, kicking it outside for Satchel. He knocks down a 3 from the right wing. And Dathan Satchel puts the Seawolves back up by 9. Satchel with 5 points in the ball game. And the Falcons get it across midcourt again. Seawolves have forced 8.5 more turnovers per ball game than their opponents. There's some more getting inside for an easy bucket. Anderson with the assist. But Seawolves don't play an all-out full-court press on defense. They do pressure the ball coming across midcourt, though. And here's Gilbert for a 3 from the right wing, and that one goes down. That'll make it a 10-point margin for the Seawolves, and a whistle momentarily as the net was up over the rim. They fixed that. And the Falcons down 10 here early in the second half. Maui Z across midcourt. He'll move from right to left. And now Blackman will find some more again. Some more, a couple of buckets, easy buckets at the rim. He's got 10 points in the ball game. Blackman with the assist there. And the Seawolves lead is trimmed to 8. Here's a 3 from Satchel from the corner, and he knocks it in. And the Seawolves lead by 11 again. Dathan Satchel now 8 points. 5 of those here in the, actually 6 of those here in the second half. A couple of threes. And the Seawolves have an 11-point lead, 51-40. No call there as some more. Storms was trying to take the charge, and that was kind of a block charge situation. They didn't call it either way. Some more with another bucket. He's got 12. He's got 6 here in the second half on 3 buckets. As we get Satchel getting a foul called on Zach Paulson. That's just the first on Paulson. It is a 9-point margin. Both of these teams have scored 8, make it 9. 9 points apiece here in the second half. Here's Viney driving, and Z may have gotten a piece of that one.
Ball stays with the Seawolves.
It's knocked out of bounds, and the Seawolves will keep it. 16:28 to go. Garrity going to step into a 3 off the inbounds pass, and that one rims out. Rebound to Shaw Anderson. Garrity was on fire for a little while in the first half. He's got 12 in the ball game. Some more backing down Garrity. Gets it out to Z, gets it back, and we're going to get a whistle. And they're going to get Garrity for the foul on Kelton Samore. That's the second on Garrity, and it's going to be inbounded underneath the bucket. And we get another call as Maui Z was trying to tightrope the sideline. And that is going on Sawyer Storms.
Second team foul. Falcons inbound front court.
So quick 2 fouls on the Seawolves, the first 2 for them in the second half. Each team now 2 team fouls here in the half. And Shaw Anderson trying to go around Garrity, steps back, puts it up, and is a little strong on that one off the back iron. And the Seawolves with the rebound. Anderson can create a lot of offense. That not the really probably not the best shot for him to take there, but he's got to get it going somehow. He's got 10 points in the ball game. Here's Garrity driving, putting it over Anderson, and that one off the mark. Rebound to Zach Paulson, and a couple of players go down, and Lachlan Viney still down in the backcourt. As Samore is going to take a 3 and knock it down. And he gets a high five from his coach, Grant Leap. But they were playing 5-on-4 as Lachlan Viney is still down, holding the left ankle. And so they let the play continue there. SVU gets the 3 to get within 6. And now they are checking on Lachlan Viney. 15-11 to go. And this will be a media timeout, I believe, as this is the first dead ball in under 16 minutes. And they are tending to Lachlan Viney. We will step aside here on the SPU webcast. 15-11 to go in the ball game. And the Falcons within 6, 51-45. Anchorage leading. We'll be right back.
/athletic.
15-11 to go in the ball game. 51-45. Seawolves lead the Falcons. And teams back out onto the floor. Jerron Williams in now for the Seawolves, as Lachlan Viney was able to get to his feet, but he is on the bench in some pain. And it is the left ankle that he's nursing there. A couple of the SPU training staff coming over and talking things over with him, as this one poked away and a whistle. And foul called on Maui Z. That's his second. Third team foul on the Falcons in the second half. 14:59 to go. Anchorage a 6-point lead, rather. Here's Kassan Rouse coming in for Maui Z. And so Rouse in the ball game now, guarding Jerron Williams. Garrity loops it inside for Gilbert. He goes up over Blackman. Blackman got a piece of it, looked like, and the shot falls short. Kassan Rouse the other way. Paulson in the corner. Gets it to Samore out on top. Samore just hit a 3 a moment ago before the timeout to get to 15 points in the ballgame. And 9 of those here in the second half. He's got it underneath again, and that one, Garrity thought he had a clean block, but they're going to get a foul on A.J. Garrity. That'll be his third.
Anchorage, A.J. Garrity, third foul.
And it'll send Kelton Samore to the free throw line. As Anchorage going to sub in Jaden Bradley here. Bradley out of Aurora, Colorado. Samore first, though, at the free throw line, and gets that one to rim in.
Jaden Bradley.
As Samore, a 70% free throw shooter on the season, gets the first to go here, and the Falcons are within 5. And Samore will get another free throw. Taking his time at the line. Somebody said, wait. One of the fans. That one was picked up on the audio there, but Samore puts in the free throw anyway. And the Falcons within 4. 51-47, still a lot of time to go in this game. Gilbert inside for Satchel. He's going to work it around Paulson, and a nice move there by Dathan Satchel to put it up and in off the glass. He's got 10 points, 8 of those here in the second half. Here's Kassan Rouse across midcourt. 6-point ball game. Anchorage with the lead, 53-47. Rouse to Anderson. Back to Rouse on top. Samore's going to come out and not quite set a screen. Rouse gets to the bucket, and Samore, trying to get the offensive rebound there, has it slip through his hands, and the Seawolves will take it and come the other way. Williams to Gilbert. Here's Satchel. Sawyer Storms with it on top. Gilbert now being guarded by Blackman. And here's Williams now. Blackman comes up with the steal. And Blackman out in front of everybody, lays it up and in. Big steal and a bucket there. Zion Blackman on the board for the first time in the game. And it's a 4-point margin with just under 13 minutes to go in the game. Blackman this time. They're going to call an offensive foul on Gilbert. Let's see. No, it was on Sawyer Storms. It was away from the ball. They called the foul on Sawyer Storms. And that is his second of the game. Baker McCann and Evans both in with 12:47 to go in the ball game. And the Falcons are within 4. Kassan Rouse across midcourt. Rouse for Trace Evans. Baker McCann drives, has to find somebody outside, and Rouse is able to pull that one in. Rouse now double teamed. Goes in the corner to Shaw Anderson. 9 on the shot clock. Anderson driving baseline. He pulls up, leaves it short. Evans with the rebound. Evans puts it up, puts it in. Trace Evans able to pull that one away and just kind of fling it up and in. And the Falcons are within 2, 53-51. Bradley with it in the front court for the Seawolves. Satchel. Williams. Gilbert a three on the way. Off the front rim, no good. Rebound to Rouse. Falcons with an opportunity to tie or take the lead here on this possession. Rouse with it on top. We'll get it to Anderson, being guarded by Bradley. Anderson backing down Bradley. And we get a whistle and a touch foul called on Jaden Bradley. And the officials calling things tight in this game. That's going to take us to immediate timeout as Bradley picks up his first foul. 11:38 to go. And Anchorage with a 2-point lead over SPU, 53-51. We'll be right back on the SPU webcast. Back inside Royal Rome Pavilion. This one's tightening it up here as the Falcons have forced 3 turnovers here in the second half, leading to 7 points off turnovers. Falcons have not turned it over in the second half as they have cleaned things up on the offensive end, at least to this point here in the second half. And they trail by 2 with an opportunity again here to tie or take the lead on this possession with 11.5 to go. That one knocked away from Rouse, but right to Evans. And he'll get it back to Rouse, 5 on the shot clock. Rouse going to take a deep 3, and that one's off the iron. No good. Rebound, Evans. And now Shaw Anderson in the corner for a 3. That one rims out. Evans pulling down the rebound. And we're going to get a whistle here and a foul called against Jaden Bradley. No, make that Tyson Gilbert. As I thought I saw 21, it was 11. But Falcons will have it from underneath the bucket. Here's Anderson getting to the bucket. Couldn't get the shot to go. Tips it back up and in. And the Falcons have tied it at 53. Shaw Anderson, 12 points. No, they're going to give that one to Baker McCann. I did not see Baker McCann get a piece to that one. As now Jerron Williams drives and has an easy lay-in. And the Seawolves go back up by 2. 55-53. Baker McCann, 11 points for SPU. And the Falcons again trying to tie or take the lead here. Evans backing down. Gets it out to Anderson. He's going to take a 3, and that one is off the back iron. No good. Rebound, Dathan Satchel. Here come the Seawolves. 10.5 to go. They lead by 2. Jerron Williams has it knocked away by Baker McCann, and it's kicked out by Gilbert, and it's Falcons ball. 10:18 to go. Sion Blackman and Maui Z will come back in, and Lachlan Viney coming back in for the Seawolves. So he was able to kind of shake some of the pain out of that ankle. And he's back in. Kelton Samore will check in for Trace Evans. Samore has 17 points to lead the way for the Falcons. And 11 of those here in the second half. Anderson to Blackman. Samore to Z. Z will kick it to Rouse. Kassan Rouse pulls up over Gilbert, puts it in. And we're tied again at 55. Kassan Rouse with 5 points in the ball game. 55-55. Maui Z reaches in, and Gilbert ends up with it. Z came away with it momentarily, and now we're going to get a held ball on the floor. And the Falcons will take over on the alternating possession. Falcons on a run here. And we're tied at 55 as Maui Z in the front court with it now. Z over to the left wing. He'll drive. He'll kick it to Samore in the corner. Now Rouse in between a couple of defenders. He's going to be called for an offensive foul. And so it's going the other way. Seawolves will take it back. 55-55. Falcons out rebounding the Seawolves 30-17 at this point in the game. Viney will get it to Bradley. And now Sawyer Storms with it. Here's a three on the way from Viney, and it's good. Let's see. There was a whistle. They're going to count the bucket. And they're also going to call a foul.
Shot was good for 3 points.
As
and a flopping technical foul called against number 10 of the Falcons, Maui C.
They're going to call it was referred to as a flopping technical against Maui Z. They're going to put Tyson Gilbert at the free throw line, and he misses off the back iron. But Anchorage will still have possession here. Caleb Larson will check in for Tyson Gilbert.
Falcons will have the basketball.
And no, it's actually going to be SPU's ball. Typically with a technical, it'll be a free throw and possession, but not on that one. This one, though, is turned over. Z was trying to get it to Samore, and behind him a little bit. Seawolves will take it back. Falcons have been good about not turning it over here in the second half, but there is one. And it'll be Lachlan Viney looking like he has shaken loose. He made a three a moment ago. Went off with an ankle injury earlier this half. Here is Bradley reversing it up and in. And the Seawolves back up by 5 as it was announced as Dathan Satchel. That was Jaden Bradley. 60-55. Seawolves by 5 with just over 8 minutes to play here in the second half. Z finds some more, and he loses it. And Lachlan Viney ends up with it. It was a good pass there by Z, but some more unable to handle it. And the Seawolves by 5. Anderson comes up and knocks that one away. Bradley ends up with it. And then now Blackman pokes it away from Viney. And the Falcons getting their hands in the cookie jar a little bit. Here's Bradley taking a three from the right wing, and it goes down. And the Seawolves on an 8-0 run. Falcons had tied it up at 55, and the Seawolves now up 63-55. 7:20 to go. Paulson going to take a three, and that one rims in. That will make it a 5-point ball game, and a timeout called here. This will be a media timeout. I think it was Rusty Osborne that took a timeout there, but we get a stoppage either way. 7:13 to go in the ball game, and the Seawolves with a 5-point lead, 63-58. Coming down to the wire here, but we still have a little ways to go. We will step aside on the SPU webcast and be back with you in just a moment. 7:13 to go in the ball game here from Royal Brown Pavilion, and the Seawolves were on an 8-0 run. The Falcons get a 3 from Zach Paulson, and that is his first 3 of the ball game and his first points of the ball game. Maui Z with the assist, and Falcons trailing by 5. It'll be the Seawolves with possession.
Seawolves ball.
And they will bring it out of backcourt. Lachlan Viney will get it across. Falcons had tied it up at 53 and then again at 55, and then the Seawolves went on an 8-0 run. Now a 5-point ball game. Jaden Bradley drives, lays it up and in, got to the bucket, and makes it a 7-point margin. Bradley now 7 points in the ball game. Here's Blackman finding Anderson going to the bucket, and he's going to get fouled. And I believe it was Larson that came over and got him. This is going to be the media timeout now.
That was on number 2, Caleb Larson, first foul.
As that was an Anchorage called timeout. This will be the media timeout here. Shaw Anderson drawing the foul, and we will step aside now on the SVU webcast. 6:37 to go in the ball game. 65-58, Anchorage by 7. We'll be right back in just a moment. .637 to go in the ball game. Seawolves by 7. And mentioned earlier in the second half that the Falcons had kind of cleaned up the turnovers. They had 9 in the first half. They have turned it over 4 times here in the second half for a total of 13 for the game. The points off turnovers had was 15-2 in the first half. The Falcons had 7 to get to 15-9 in that category, but now the Seawolves with a 23-9 edge in points off turnovers. But still a lot of time left in this one. Shaw Anderson to the free throw line. And his first one is on net. Shaw Anderson to the free throw line for the 137th and 8th time here this season, and he is 85% from the stripe. And gets both here. Nice easy stroke there from the free throw line. And the Falcons back within 5, 65-60. Shaw Anderson 12 points in the game now for SBU. 6:25 to go. Lachlan Viney behind the back, puts it up, and Blackman gets a piece of it, knocks it away, but Viney is going to get to the free throw line. Blackman commits the foul. That's just his third. He picked up 2 in the first half. And sends Viney to the free throw line here with 6:19 to go in the ball game. Lachlan Viney rattles in the first free throw, and he'll get one more. Viney's got 14, and most of those in the first half. And that one off the back iron, no good, but it's tapped out, and Sawyer Storms will pick it up. And the Seawolves get another possession out of it, leading by 6. Just over 6 minutes to go. Garrity trying to go around Paulson. Paulson with the defense. Garrity puts it up off the window and in, and was looking for an and one there. But Garrity now with 14 points in the ball game. Paulson being pressured in the backcourt. And now Baker McCann will get it cross court to Paulson coming across midcourt. 5:40 to go. Falcons down 8. Baker McCann drives and has it knocked away. Out of bounds.
Out of bounds
And the Falcons will keep it. Trace Evans will check in for Kelton Samore with 5:32 to go. And the Falcons trail by 8. 68-60. Zach Paulson will inbound. Lachlan Viney went off with an ankle injury earlier, and now I think he got poked in the eye. And he's coming over looking for a towel to wipe out that eye, and now he's good. So Falcons will have it underneath the basket. Zach Paulson will inbound.
Ball on the baseline.
5:32 to go. And yeah, Sion Blackman and Caleb Larson kind of jockeying for position before the official even hands the ball to Zach Paulson. And now we're back to action here. Shaw Anderson being guarded by Jaden Bradley. Will kick it out to Blackman. Now Paulson, a 3 on the way, and that one's off the rim. No good. Rebound tipped out to Baker McCann, and he goes up off the window. No good. And the rebound comes down to Sawyer Storms. And the Seawolves will get another possession, leading by 8 with just over 5 to go. Seawolves have led the majority of the ball game. Falcons had a 2-0 lead, and they were able to tie it up a couple of times here in the second half. Now Jaden Bradley going to turn around and put one up from the free throw line, and it's off the front rim, no good. Baker McCann the rebound. Baker McCann gets it to Blackman, had it deflected there. Blackman misses on the shot, and the rebound comes down to Caleb Larson. And again, the Seawolves with a possession and an 8-point lead with now just over 4.5 to go in the ball game. Falcons average over 80 points a game, but they're on 60 right now. And this one, almost a turnover, but Larson ends up with it. Here's Storms, a 3 on the way, off the back iron, and Baker McCann able to pull down the rebound. And the Falcons are going to need to start getting some buckets on these possessions here. Anderson turnaround, puts it in. Shot Anderson.
Pass from Baker McCann.
Puts it in, and he's got 14 in the game now. And it is a 6-point margin. Baker McCann with the assist there. Here's Lachlan Viney getting it to Garrity. It's knocked away. Evans ends up with it, and he's able to get it to Anderson. Falcons force a turnover. Baker McCann drives, and he's going to get a foul called with 3:33 to go in the ball game. That's going to be on Garrity. No, it's Sawyer Storms, actually. That is his third and the 8th team foul on the Seawolves here in the second half. So Baker McCann will have free throws coming up. He'll be at the line for a 1-and-1 after the timeout. 3:33 left, 68-62, Anchorage over SPU. And the Falcons going to need to put together a run down the stretch here. We'll see if they can do it when we come back. 68-62, 3:33 to go. 68-62. Seawolves over the Falcons, 3:33 to go. And a little discrepancy here just that I'm noticing with the Falcons stats, as on the scoreboard they have Anderson with 14 and Baker McCann with 11. In the live stats, it's Anderson with 16 and Baker McCann with 9. And there was a bucket earlier that I thought Anderson had the put back, and they gave it to Baker McCann on the scoreboard, and they announced it that way. But Baker McCann now at the free throw line misses on the first. Let's see here. Thought it was going to be a 1-and-1, but they're going to give him a second free throw. Lachlan Viney coming over to the bench again.
Number 1, Jerron Williams.
And Jerron Williams. Viney looks like may have had some blood or something on the jersey, and he's going to have to get a new one. Baker McCann knocks down the free throw. They have him for 12 on the scoreboard, and again, just 10 with the individual stats I'm looking at. But either way, it's 68-63. That is not a point of contention here, as this is a wide open Sawyer Storms. Jerron Williams finds him, and Storms lays it up and in, and he's got 6 in the ball game, and the Seawolves lead by 7 with 3 minutes to go, 70-63. Here's Sion Blackman for Anderson. Anderson was going to step back and take a 3. Charges into the lane and is able to play through the contact there and get the bucket to go. Anderson with 16 or 18, depending on which source of information you're looking at. We'll see if they do correct that on the scoreboard, or either way. Falcons down 5, 70-65. Here's Garrity in the corner for a 3. That one's off the mark. And Blackman tips it up in the air. Baker McCann comes down with it. Then Baker McCann for Blackman. Blackman, a nice dish there to Evans underneath. Had it blocked, gets it back, puts it up and in. And the Falcons are within 3, 70-67. Just over 2 minutes to play in the ballgame. Lachlan Viney now wearing number 22 as he is getting ready to check back in. And the Falcons with Clayton Whitman and Maui Z getting ready to check in for them. Whitman seeing some action late in the ballgame. Here is Storms kicking it out to Garrity for a 3 over Paulson. No good. Rebound Baker McCann. We get a whistle and a stoppage here. And let's see. The officials getting together.
Fouls on number 5 of Alaska Anchorage,
AJ Garrity.
That would be 4 fouls on Garrity.
Called. They're just announcing it as a foul. I thought I saw the official signal technical, and it is. A technical on AJ Garrity with 1:39 to go in the ballgame, and the Seawolves with a 3-point lead. And not a good time for Garrity to take a technical. Zach Paulson at the free throw line puts it in. And this is going to be a 2-shot technical. And he knocks both of them in. And the Falcons are within a point with 1:39 to go in the ballgame, 70-69. Clayton Whitman and Maui Z in for SPU. And Whitman playing some crucial minutes here at the end of the game. Lachlan Viney, they announce, is in now wearing number 22. And here's Shaw Anderson getting it to Paulson. Z will get it to Anderson. Thought about a 3. He's going to drive on Storms. 10 on the shot clock. Storms with a good defense. Anderson gets into the lane, has it blocked by Storms. Here's Anderson now, and that one comes up short, poked away. The Seawolves had possession just long enough. They reset the shot clock. And now they're going to take a look at whether they should have reset the shot clock. Rusty Osborne is signaling shot clock violation. Let's see what the officials end up ruling here. They are going to give the ball to the Falcons. And the Falcons catch a break there, as that would have been a shot clock violation. They were saying that the Seawolves had possession just long enough for the shot clock to be reset. Here's Maui Z cutting into the lane and dishes to Whitman. Whitman is going to draw the foul, and he'll head to the free throw line with 54 seconds to go in the ball game. 54.1 to be exact.
10 team fouls.
And Clayton Whitman, Gilbert will come in for A.J. Garrity. And Clayton Whitman in a big situation here late in the ball game has an opportunity to put the Falcons ahead with a couple of free throws here. And his first one is up and is off the mark. He'll still have an opportunity to tie it up, as Whitman yet to make a free throw this season, 0 for 4 now. And his second one is good, and we're tied at 70, 54.1 left on the clock. And a wild game here coming down to the final minute. Lachlan Viney going to get a timeout as he crosses midcourt. 47.8 left in the ball game. And we will have a timeout. This will be a full timeout. So we will take one last break here on the SP webcast. 70-70 is your score. 47.8 left on the clock. We'll be right back. .8 seconds left in the ball game. 70-70. We are tied up here inside Royal Brown Pavilion, as the Falcons have battled in this one and have been able to push their way back into a tie. Anchorage has led the majority of the ball game, and now Jerron Williams will inbound to Tyson Gilbert, and the Seawolves will get into a possession here. Gilbert being guarded by Zach Paulson. And now Lachlan Viney will come to get the ball. Viney being guarded by Sion Blackman. Gets it to Jaden Bradley. Bradley going around Whitman. And Whitman comes over and is able to prevent the bucket, but is going to commit a foul here. That's his first foul.
16 fouls.
And Grant Leap showing some faith in Whitman playing in the final seconds here. Bradley misses the first free throw. And it stays at 70, and now Grant Leap stays tied at 70. Grant Leap is going to take a timeout between the free throws here. Ice the shooter, if you will. And this will be a 30-second timeout with 28.2 left. Jaden Bradley on the season, an 84% free throw shooter, but he just missed the first of two. And they'll talk things over on both benches. Bradley will have an opportunity to put the Seawolves back in front after the timeout concludes here. As Bradley in the ballgame, 7 points. And he'll be back at the free throw line here as the Seawolves come back out immediately. And now the Falcons, as Falcons have Anderson, Whitman, Paulson, Blackman, and Z on the floor.
Here we go, fans.
And Bradley back to the free throw line. Big free throw coming up here, and that one is all net. And so the Seawolves have a 1-point lead, 28 seconds to go. And the Falcons looking to get it across midcourt. Maui Z will get it into front court, 20 seconds to go. And the Falcons are going to play this one out, at least for the time being. Anderson being guarded by Bradley. Anderson backs in. Goes up and forced it up, and it's tipped up and in. Anderson got his own miss and tipped it up and in. They lead by a point. Here's Tyson Gilbert for a three at the buzzer, and it's off the mark, and the Falcons win it. The Falcons win it, 72-71. They did not lead for much of this game at all, but Shaw Anderson with the putback, and the Seawolves unable to convert on the other end. Tyson Gilbert got a good look, but is off the mark on the three. And the Falcons pull it out, 72-71. What a game. Falcons down really the entire game. And they are able to steal one here on their home floor. They go to 10-1 at home, and still looking to lock up that third seed in the GNAC tournament as they go to 11-6 in conference play now. And we'll see how Northwest Nazarene does, if they're able to stay within a game of SPU. But SPU really now very close to locking down that third seed in the GNAC tournament coming up next week in Bellingham at Western Washington. And what a game here. The Falcons, hard to believe that they were able to find a way to pull that one out at the end, but they do. As Anderson had a wild shot that kind of went up and did not connect on it. He's able to somehow get the tip to go in. And I have him for 20 points. But none bigger than those two right at the end on the putback. As the scoreboard has him with 18. I mentioned earlier they gave a bucket to Baker McCann that I thought was Anderson's bucket. But either way, the Falcons walk off with a 72-71 win. And as I mentioned, they go to 10-1 at home. Anchorage now drops to 12-14 on the season, 6-11 in the GNAC, and Anchorage held the lead pretty much wire to wire, and they let it slip at the end, and they're unable to get the three from Gilbert at the buzzer, and so the Falcons pull it out here on their home floor. We'll need to wrap things up here to get this reset for the women's game coming up at 7:30. But quickly, Shaw Anderson, 20 points, 5 rebounds, and Trace Evans had 11 rebounds to lead the way for the Falcons in that department. 10 points for Ben Baker McCann, and Anchorage got 14 apiece from Lachlan Viney and A.J. Garrity, and a lot of those were in the first half. They also had 10 each from Dathan Satchel and Jerron Williams. And Satchel really in particular just kind of had a good stretch there at the beginning of the second half. Didn't play a lot of minutes, but ends up in double figures. 4 players for the Seawolves end up in double figures. And the Falcons, though, pull it out in miraculous fashion, 72-71. And we will have the Senior Day game for the Falcons coming up on Saturday. That'll be a 4:15 p.m. tip-off against Alaska Fairbanks. For now, we're going to sign off momentarily. The women coming up as Anchorage is here for the women as well to take on SPU. That game tipping at 7:30. We'll have it for you here on the SPU webcast. For now, stepping aside on the men's game, the Falcons again win it 72-71.